victory was to be bought so dear as to be almost indistinguishable from defeat. Winston Churchill speaking about World War I. Hello and welcome to this casted game, played on Vertigo, between thepangaean, playing 39Y, and he's up against Rakaka, playing 39Y. We're on Vertigo here, and this is on the old patch, the last of the games on the old patch, so I'll go through the deployments and then we'll start the game. So we got Rakaka going with his Grenzers over to here, and behind that some more Grenzers. They're going to here on the right, so he's going straight for Alpha, and then he's got that standard 39Y opening on Vertigo with 2 AA helicopters, sometimes 3, except this time it's been substituted with an Mi-24K. And they're all just going straight to the middle. You see this very often with 39Y, particularly on this map. You just send those 3 forwards. You don't have that much forward deployed stuff. The recon deployed stuff that you get isn't particularly strong, so you send the helicopters. The helicopters are really good. Usually you back it up with a jet. Behind that, Saperi RPO, a CV to take Echo and Alpha, and a Briusa to sit in Alpha. On the right side, also got some units, so Motostrelki Metis going to here. It's a pretty typical deployment. Grenza's going to here. T-62M, and that's going back here, and that has the Bastion ATGM. Best ATGM in the game, in my opinion, because of its speed and accuracy and range. Strela 10M, which I think is kind of OP, and that's going to there, and then behind that another CV, going to Foxtrot Delta. Switching to Pangaean's opening, we've got some Razvedka. They're going to Delta, going to this house. Behind that, for the left, just a single Motostrelki Metis, and he's going there. So definitely intends to defend on the left. And then on the right, he's got basically exactly the same thing the other guy had. So 2 AA helicopters and Mi-24K, but only 1 ground unit, the Motostrelki Metis, which is going forwards. And what I can only presume are a lot of planes, because there aren't many units here. So let's get on with the game. So I'd like to take this time to thank the generous channel joiners, of which Pangaean is one. And yeah, 1 join at the lowest level is worth 2,000 views. So I'd like to take the time to thank them. And behind that, we've got 3 molding MiGs, MiG-21s. And he's going straight for those helicopters. It looks like it. He doesn't see him yet. Oh, he sees 1. Probably didn't need to put all 3 on a single one. How much is the Briusa going to do to these guys? Clipped 1, but only going to do about 2 damage there. Less even. Now he's coming back for the other one. Rakaka not landing his helicopters, and then this guy's too far in front. He's going to get hit by these Iglas. Although that does free up Pangaean's own Iglas to engage these, because these guys have run out of ammo. And now they're trying to engage with their guns, but I'm not sure about that. And the Molders finish them off. Su-27 sent out. It's going for the helicopter, not the MiGs. I don't know how good an idea that was with 3 enemy jets there. Behind this, we got an Su-25 AT. The recon helicopter is dead, but he does see all this. And he takes out that CV there handedly. 1 Briusa and 1 Strela 10M, not really cutting it against so many planes. It's worth noting that Pangaean did not buy a CV, whereas his opponent bought 2, and that makes his deployment 160 points stronger. Not as much of a difference as it used to be with a 100-point CV minimum, but it's still a difference, and it's certainly paying off for him. That's, I guess, one of these. So it's up to you to decide whether or not it's worth it. Just sort of flying over the AA over and over is not really a necessary step, but everybody is going to get out. This Metis just sitting back there, although now with the Molders evacing, this Su-25 is probably going to die, and there's nothing left protecting these guys from this plane. They are out of Iglas. Su-25 dodging a few, but his luck runs out eventually. Over on the left, the Motostrelki Metis took the center house. They can't see this, though. What's the next call in for Pangaean? It's an Su-27 of his own. And he does have the enemy dead to rights there, but he evacs a bit early. Could have killed that. Could have killed that if he'd stuck around, but he evacs. And it's +8 to Rakaka, so you need to get some CVs on the board, and we see 2 CVs purchased. They'll go for Charlie Delta, Bravo Alpha. So far, Pangaean has pretty handed control of Alpha, although, you know, if this Baryusa just went forwards, it's got to dodge the Metis, right? The Metis will kill it. But if it manages to get around that, it could take these 2 out, no problem. And these guys can kill this. So, Rakaka not being so aggressive. I noticed he's loaded this Saperi back up there. We'll see what happens next. This Metis has been moved out of that house. But he did, I guess, because of this tank, right? Because the tank gun can definitely shoot him, whereas the Metis range 1750 versus 2100 on that tank gun. And the game starts to slow down just a little bit now, but Rakaka with a 750 point lead, presumably, once all is done. Although Pangaean will get a +2 once these 2 move in. Because he'll neutralize this zone and he'll own this zone. This Saperi looks like he's going to be going around to there. And Rakaka has sort of given up on Alpha. And he's going hard on Delta. This T62M doing a lot of work. Particularly with the Grenzers to provide the vision. That's why this guy can engage to begin with. And yeah, this could kill all this. But he doesn't know what we know, right? But with the Motor Strelky Metis being low cohesion, they're not really going to do anything. So now is really the time to strike. Looks like one of the AA helicopters flew too close to the Baryusa and died. Yeah, looks like it went down just here. Bit of a problem, depending on who you're rooting for. And this Saperi is going to go back now, because this BTR-60PB started shooting it. Or maybe this shot it. Who's to know? See what both players are buying. Rakaka buying some more AA after that brutal air assault. And Pangaean buying a T80B for the left and shoring up the right with some Motor Strelky Metis, Conkers, and another Motor Strelky Metis. BMP2's out for Rakaka. Not seen any IFVs out for Pangaean yet. This Grenzer caught in the open field with the BTR-60PB shooting ain't going to be able to do much. Really needs to bring the tank up to about here, maybe. Although these guys have got their cohesion back. BMP3 purchase for Pangaean. Yes, the Diversity Bomber will probably deal with this T-62M handedly. I don't see it dying unless he'd... Yeah, so he didn't evac it. And I'm not sure if he right-clicked there. I'm not sure why it missed. I've actually never seen that happen this patch. So if your bombs are away and you can still see the target, you can evac. As long as you don't right-click anywhere else, you can evac, and it will keep going to the target. So that's worth knowing. The T-80B should beat this, particularly as it gets a side shot. And, yeah, Pangaean's got the force supremacy here now with this T-80B, with its 10 rate of fire. Pretty crazy. Going up against the 6 rate of fire of the T-62M. I think the auto-loaders on the T-80s are over-modelled. I'm really not convinced that they fired at 10 rounds a minute. I've heard anything from 7 to 9, 7 to 9.5. I think 8 would be more reasonable, given the advantages of the auto-loader, which are that... So, as you get shot, your fire rate goes down. But if you have an auto-loader, that doesn't happen. Because it's a machine loading it as opposed to a guy that's, you know, receiving head trauma from all the shells hitting his tank. Can't really see Rakaka getting back in here, but he is trying. I think he's hedged his bets a bit too much. If I was him, I would have just sent all this to here and tried to take this as soon as possible to even it out. And then you can try and work on getting back in here, perhaps with some smoke. Something we don't see a lot of. This CV has gone to this tree, which is actually not in the zone. So Pangaean on a +4 now. And diversity is back again. Keep in mind that the reload time really not very high. But he's pulled that off. With 3 Strela 10Ms though, I don't think he'll survive that. BMP2 goes down. ostensibly to the tank gun. Now the Strela 10M goes down here, presumably to the Conkers. Yep. Would love to see some supply from both players, neither player choosing to bring any supply. Supply is units, man. You can heal this guy. You can get your smoke back. You can heal this guy. You can... these guys are all full HP, actually. You can heal this guy. Not really enough recon here for Pangaean either. You could use just one recon here, just to spot targets for the Conkers. Would be worth getting some AA, but with 3 ASFs, which I think he still has all 3. Maybe he doesn't need AA. And Rakaka attacking here, but a lot of his units are sort of out of position. I mean, he's going for this, but what's he going to do about that T80B is still there. Might want to wait for his own T80BV to show up. I really do like the utility of the KPVTs and the NSVTs. They are very good now. The UK, of course, being one of the, if not the earliest adopter of machine gun technology in the form of the Maxim. And one of the earliest adopters of the 50 cal. Sadly, doesn't get it in this game. UK suffers, despite using the 50 cal all the time. No 50 cal for the UK. It's very sad, you hate to see it. Advantage of the BMP3. Look how much faster that ATGM is than these guys. Did you see that? I'm surprised it missed, given its higher accuracy. But it's just the speed on it, and the range. 2625 versus 2800. What's left? I mean, the CV is still not in the zone. And there you go. Look at the pace. The pace on that. And the enemy has been spotted here. I'd love to see a Uragan, if either player has one of those. This is a really good map for a Uragan. But if it's a ranked game, then you don't know you're going to get this map. Uragan can be a bit useless sometimes, so you got to watch out for that. You'll note that the ATGMs on these two vehicles are identical. I call it the Repairer. I think that's what it's called. I mean, I'm not calling it the 9M117 Master Chief Collection. Don't have time for that. Once again, Rakaka sort of hedging his bets. He wants to attack over here. He wants to defend, I guess, over here. But by splitting his forces like this, Pangaean has a pretty big advantage here. Like, he just doesn't have that much here. Also, he won the opener, so he had more units left over. And because of that, Rakaka sort of struggling, although does get that BMP3 there, which is a big pick-off. These Strelas getting the needle threaded on them by this T80B. And the CV is forced to leave the zone, or at least it's been pathed to the Strela, and the Strela's been pathed back. Oh no, he realizes his mistake and brings it back. Is he waiting on another tank? Yeah, he is. Presumably once the tank arrives, he will attack. This AA helicopter, I'd be surprised if it survives. Yeah, it doesn't. There's a lot of AA here, and it started the battle, that particular fight, with low HP. Buying a howitzer or even a single mortar on this map can be extremely useful. If your enemy's here, just start mortaring it. Why not? It's just very cheap for what it provides. Similarly, if your enemy's here, you can do the same thing. 3 molding MiGs out again. Not sure what they're going for. Just going to fly over the AA. Ostensibly. Oh no, he changes his mind. No, he unchanges. What is he doing? Okay, he's going for the SU-27S and flying over the Strela, the Briusa. Wasn't there an OSA here, or was that on the left side? SU-27S does get, I mean, there is a bit of a difference in price here. One's 100 points more than the other. He sort of messed that up a bit. He could have turned the other way, and he would have, well, it doesn't matter. He still gets it. Where was that OSA, man? I could have sworn it was around here. There it is. Okay. These guys still just flying over all the Strelas, why not? I guess they're... Yeah, okay, so they're painting targets for this, just sort of soaking up missiles for this. And now the LGBT is just going to drop on that, because he knows where it is. And presumably, so evac now. So he waits for the bombs to drop, and then evacs. And yeah, that's been spotted now, but this sometimes you have to sort of babysit it because it does that. SU-27S just soaking up Barusa shots. See how he's pathed it. Wants it to go all over the place. But yeah, the SU-25AT should clean this up, and clean up it does. Rakaka's attack, of course, beginning here now. But Pangaean's got a lot of units, and now he's got complete air superiority, because all the AA is dead. There's like 4 on this side, but none on this side. And another Biryusa purchase, but for the time being, this guy can run amok. I mean, he's only got 2 missiles left, but if he gets these 2, that's great. Great news. Peels off there. There is pen on this gun. Like, he could shoot that. The SU-25, of course, better than the A-10 Thunderbolt. Can hear angry Nafos typing, but it is a newer plane, I believe. Maybe. Might not be, actually. It is a better plane. In this game, I believe the A-10 gets more ECM. It also gets better missiles. So, yeah, the missiles on the A-10 definitely better. In-game, the gun on the A-10 definitely better. And yeah, it does clean those 2 up. So this attack probably not going anywhere. Would love to see red attack on this side. It would be kind of hard. But most of this is AA, right? So these are the units that are a problem. But with Rakaka attacking himself, maybe red can just wait this out. Pangaean can just wait this out. And then counterattack. Typically the easiest way to play. Wait for your enemy to make a mistake. Although, you know, Pangaean, he did the right thing. He was aggressive here at the start. He won that fight. There's a thing with Vertigo about escalation. So, you bring 2 helicopters. Your enemy brings 3 helicopters. You bring 3 helicopters and a jet, right? And so you've got to sort of predict what your enemy is going to do a little bit. Because if you buy 3 ASFs and he buys no helicopters, then you wasted your time. So there is an element of guesswork there. Just if you know who you're playing and you play against them a lot, you can have a pretty good understanding of what they're going to do. Unless you're playing against me, in which case I just do something completely different every time. I think. I don't know. So Rakaka attacking over here and making quite a bit of progress. Would love to see this in this building and maybe some recon. TAB goes down here. I'm going to have to stay zoomed out now. Too much stuff happening. This Conker's killed that TAB. It's probably going to get this one. Diversity Bomber comes in for that TAEBV. Whiffs it. And then dies. So that's a shame. You know, if you right-click and it releases the bomb, you can just press evac. Don't press any other button. It will stay painted if it can stay painted. There's no reason to keep it around. Pangaean getting squeezed quite a bit here. Second Diversity Bomber out now, going for that T80BV. But he's paying a high price for this, because they keep dying. Yeah, see? And he didn't... No, he did get that. These guys don't have close range AT, so this can actually just drive in here and kill all this. But he doesn't know about that, so he's actually going to drive it out the other way. Helicopter's brought in now, but with the Strela 10Ms, you gotta be careful. And yeah, it gets hit straight away. Once it's stunned, you can't tell it to change altitude. And then that goes down. This one really needs to get out of here before the same thing happens. Will he get behind the rock? The big tree? Looks like he's gonna get behind it. Oh. Well, he got behind it, but he's dead. But meanwhile, all the tanks died to the enemy tanks. So, great spectating going on there. And with that, blue surrenders. Which is fair enough. His attack here didn't work, and his attack there just failed. So, fair enough. When I click on Pangaean, I just get my stats, so that's not great. And Rakaka, not many games. Binary rank. And yeah, you know, if your enemy is gonna open helicopters, you open helicopters and planes, and then you'll win. If you open loads of planes and your enemy doesn't open helicopters, you're gonna have a problem. Yeah, GG.